Come on, I pressed the button. I pressed the button! No! My air horn button is... My air horn button's frozen. There we go. I was so sad for a moment there. My air horns were broken. If you lose, does Milo eat your corpse? Yes. Okay, no. So folks who are new in the chat might not know. We made a joke about I horribly lost my my first Nuzlocke challenge. And the final Pokemon that killed me was it was big spider thing. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Gavantula. And that like killed my last Pokemon. And so we joked that whatever Pokemon beats you in a Nuzlocke challenge, it just eats you. So yeah, I don't want to think that Milo's a cannibal, but he could be. Yes, I like this version. Milo buries you right in the middle of the gym. He just fucking drives a knife through your heart. Nope. Corvus has got this shit. You're too late. Your chemicals in the water cannot turn me gay. I am already there. The fuck was I talking about? Half of your audience is Ace Star. I know! I have attracted a good crowd. What's up, everybody? I promise you my advice is spot on. Lucky you having me as your partner. I'm gonna choke this kid. I'm sure he'd love that, Neku. Oh, I can't particularly say I'm totally gonna win this one, you guys. I got this in the bag. I'm Mario Kart champion. Yes, I am a squid at fucking hyperspeed. Let's go. Oh shit! Right at the end. Right at the end. Cover up. Oh? Who did that? I don't have magic.
Crikey! Sorry, pal. I didn't see you standing there.
Hello. Why am I over here? Wait, is this an art stream? Yes. I need my game stream. There we go. I guess I never fully fixed my stream overlays, and I just hit the art stream button as an instinct. Why was I to the left? Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome. We are in awkward silence, just staring at this guy, because this is where we left the last stream. I didn't turn off the game. I just let it be in sleep mode. But yes, hi, welcome. Pug Tacos 1, hello. Don M. Theron, hello. Jade Rabbit 21, hello. Who the heck is ready to finish this goddamn case and see the last of these punks? I'm excited. I wonder if this is gonna be like the first case where I thought it was gonna be easy and then it turned into like a 4-hour thing. 5 hours? The first case was 5 hours! That is buck wild! And so like I feel like I'm close to the end. And I wonder if I am maybe not actually close to the end. But we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, I'm gonna wait just like a few more seconds. Let folks filter in. And then we can get started. I'm going to have a sip of my water. So what I always do, almost without fail, is right before the stream starts, I will, I'll go fill up my water cup. But then by the time I'm usually just a thirsty person, by nature because I'm not as hydrated as I should be on a normal basis. And so I'll just like chug my entire thing of water, and then by the time the stream starts, it's almost gone. And I'm like, oh well, damn it. What if the knife isn't theirs? That would be le twist, right? Because if it isn't theirs, then we're gonna spend another 3 hours trying to figure out where this fucking knife came from. Wah. Anyway, that would suck. It would suck. But I wouldn't put it past this game. Now that you've said it, you've jinxed it. They do have random weapons. Yeah, why couldn't they have just, like, just throw... It's canon! They have a cannon. Why couldn't they have thrown something that was not a knife out their window, perhaps? Anyway, let's get into it. The Battle of Garrideb. I gotta remember these punks' voices. Every time I start a stream, I gotta redo the voices again. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him. Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I'd noticed if one or two went missing, I'm afraid. If that bully thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. Oh, will we? Check it for fingerprints! Oh wait, this is the 1900s. It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware that on every battlefield you're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment. Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here? Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that the surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end. Van Zieks may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I'm afraid so. Very well, counsel. Begin your cross-examination. Let's fucking go. She called it the last one. It better be the last one. Alright. Can't recall the reason now. Can't you? The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe. Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was tucked into the pages of a book belonging to Mr. Garrideb. A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mrs. Garrideb found the note discovering her husband's little secret. And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too. What a sordid state of affairs. Hell on earth. All I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it all up. And besides, half of it was wide of the mark anyway. A likely story. These waters run very deep. And what transpired next after these multiple blows to the face? Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open. Okay, I'll come back to that one. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Hold it!
Including the book, I would imagine. Even though the room was on fire? As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of a Susato takedown, Mr. Naruhodo. How did she know I was thinking that? So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel as though I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, and a sponge, a napkin. Oh, sir? Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Garrideb, Don't shoot! Sorry, I beg your pardon? Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker, I seem to recall. Ouch. Yeah, for real, what the shit? And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed— God! Good grief, woman, we're not at home now! This is a court of law! Oh, dearie me. Ever so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with a teapot in here? My question exactly. Honestly, John, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously. Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose that happened, Your pipe, sir. Had this thing in my hands as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did. Yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I'd like to see a sponge do that sort of damage. I see, your pipe was broken. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now. You are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? Jesus, this marriage is terrible. Wonder if we should make this count. Could be important. Rule 1 of Ace Attorney. If it gives you the option, it's always important. The defense believes Mr. Garrett's remarks just now to be of great significance. Oh, shut up. This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony. Indeed, common sense, one might say. Might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not. Oh, dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady. Very well, the court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence. Give me that. Give me it. Yoink. Whoa. There's a small nick out of the bowl here, look. It appears to have been made relatively recently. And see how there are little scrapes and dents all over it? It's clearly a well-loved pipe. Yes, you're right. It seems to me recently that being well-loved goes in hands with getting some battle scars. This particular nick is catching my eye, though. Because it's clearly new. It is. Is it? Oh, what is that? Oh, fuck! That's the tip of the knife! That's the tip of the knife! There it is! There it is! There it is! Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of this pipe here. Yes, I saw it. Something stuck in there, I think. Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade? Surely it couldn't be. Give me it! Give me it! Give me it! That's mine now. Fucking yoink! I hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruhodo. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Oh no, it's fine. Thanks to Suzato-san, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully. We did, and we found some shit, did we not? Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Garrett. Now if we could return to the crux of the matter. What can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim? Plenty of noise around our place. It was ours, I'll have a job proving it, I think. Oh, will I?
Objection!
Will I now? Mr. Garrett, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please? You can ask, but I can't see a bully thing. You can't? You used to call me Dead-Eye Deb back in the regiment, of course. But that was some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. Well, I struggle to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q, to be honest. Oh, he does. Dearie me, it's rather wearing being asked about every other letter and every other word. You must be very dizzy. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal? Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? Did you not see me shake it out of the pipe just now, my dude? It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe. A pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got in there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, counsel? Are you suggesting that it is in some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road? Your Honor, I absolutely am projecting that. I am. What? When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, counsel. Very well then, present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence, when paired with this fragment of metal, allegedly reveals the truth of this entire case? The fucking knife.
Take that!
Take that! Throws the knife at somebody else, stabs somebody else, and they die. Whoops. This is the knife that was found on the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that's missing. A common issue with the inferior blade sold at unsavory street markets. Let me guess, he's about to say something about his knife. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones. And what of this particular knife? No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim. No, that's not the case. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe. Ah. Good grief, Lord Van Zeeks. I don't believe it. The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal are a perfect match. Yeah, they are, buddy. Eat it, shit. Good golly gosh. Eat it! Not the knife. Don't eat that. Order, order, order! Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery? My dude, you have got to stop blaming everything on sorcery. He is clearly a warlock. This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. A miracle? So Van Zeeks has figured it out, has he? Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. Kazuma's his patron, by the way. That's why he has this sword. He's a Hexblade Warlock. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe? Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony. Hauled this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of a soft projectiles she did. Yes. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh, dearie me. During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garrideb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garrideb, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time. Which caused the tip to break off, of course. Good lord. Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe. The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1! And yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out the open window. In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garrideb's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh, gosh, oh dear, oh! No!
Objection!
Shut up. Glad to see you got your fucking wine glass back, sir. Yeah, take a fucking sip, babes. A full-bodied theory'll give you that. Oh, shut up! What are you gonna try and prove now? A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. You're an almost passable vintage. You could be so cute and hot if you weren't an asshole. God damn it. Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument. Rude. Sorry? But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. I'd like to cork you. Cork your fucking mouth shut. Because you see, it's spoilt by an insurmountable inconsistency. And what is that, sir? Thigh-high boots? An insurmountable what? He is bluffing. Just don't get all worked up. He's just trying to save face at this point. Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified? An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with the knife planted in the middle of her back. Oh, is that all? She bent down to pick up the book, and then that's when the knife fell in her. Come on, guy. He knows that. He has to know that. He's just denying it because he's a fucking prosecutor, and that's what he does. Yes, and her... Yeah.
That's right, you silly little man.
Now, Joan, old thing, what are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above... there's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back. Yeah. We already know the solution, we just have to prove it. Order! Order!
Quite right. You see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck on the top of her head.
Well,
He's lost for words, look. I knew it. I never liked to see her in the first place. Shut up.
I don't know, though. What really did happen? It would appear the defense has made a rather spectacular blunder. You're a spectacular blunder! If a theory has one inconsistency, it cannot stand. Your theory, my learned friend, is history. You got a little Australian there at the end. Oops. My inconsistent, accents strike again. We were so close, I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. Now the way has been blocked completely by just one simple inconsistency. Or in other words,
we simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency and the theory will stand.
Miss Husato, my angel.
You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard, that's all. And your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court record, I'm sure. All the information you need is there.
It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed. Face is fatally flawed. Yeah, get him! Get him, my boy, get him! Come on, pick yourself up, bud. This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test! Hell yeah! Get him, my boy! Get him! Yes! If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that it could have hit her in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What are you implying? Counsel? There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer.
Goodness!
That's a madness. Surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak. This is the last inconsistency, the final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is, It's either the book or the photo of her hand holding the book. I'm not sure. It's one of the two. If it's not the book, it's the photo, and if it's not the photo, it's the book. So, like, we have to know that was in the victim's hand. Specifically shows the victim's hand. I feel like it's probably the book is more likely.
Take that!
This, the fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. All right, I guess we got it right. The burnt book? Is that not Mr. Garadeb's book? Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. But as we all now know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that. Yeah, maybe either would have worked, I don't know. They do pull that sometimes. Quite so, as part of this wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road. That's true, however. As part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand?
Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So, when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand.
In other words, the victim had already picked up the book of her own volition. And clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing much of anything. So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand? Boy, Jingo! I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now.
Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, shut up. Talking is the opposite of shutting up. What's that petition website? It's not a GoFundMe, but change.org, get Van Zieks to shut up forever. We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Garadeb household onto the pavement below, at precisely the moment that the victim was walking past. Yes, at exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her.
The book I threw.
Yes, Mrs. Garadeb, and what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement?
Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down.
Oh, she's cute.
And picked the book up.
Yes, that is exactly what the woman in fact did. She picked up the book.
Oh, heavens!
And when the woman reached down to pick the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book, ouch. The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at that same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Well, I never. It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above.
Ah!
And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place. No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. Get him! Get him, my son! Get him! I feel bad for them because it was an accident, but I mean, at least she's not dead. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb? It's not like they did a murder on purpose. It would be manslaughter if nothing else. But more like... It's not even manslaughter because no one was slaughtered. Someone was just unfortunately stabbed by gravity. Arrest gravity!
The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that.
There, old bean.
Poor Mrs. Garrideb.
Aw.
Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book. And I threw the knife as well.
I feel like the specific reason, like, metagaming here, but I feel like the specific reason the victim is not dead is because they were gonna pull this. Like... I don't really feel bad for Joan because she did kind of seriously injure her husband. Listen! That's not good. But, like... Not intending to kill someone and almost leading to their death is still a shitty thing to have happen to somebody, you know? Like, I'm not forgiving her for the bullshit she did because they are both clearly terrible people. And, like, it's fucked up and they need some serious marriage counseling, if not a divorce. I am not denying that. But yeah, like, still fucking sucks. Exactly. She's got anger issues, but she didn't mean to kill someone, yeah. It's like, I feel like that's why, specifically, the victim in this case is not dead. Because that would have, like, that would have been kind of fucked up. Like, this game has pulled worse shit, but manslaughter, I'm not sure, is the thing that's ever been tackled in these games before, so,
John, dear.
It's alright, I know.
I'm ever so sorry. Truly.
I'm sorry! Oh, and she's down. Oh my god! His pants are burnt! Oh, sir! I mean, listen, it was kind of cute, but how many fat jokes are we gonna make in this case? I mean, seriously? Come on, game, you're better than that. Lord Van Zeeks, what news of Mrs. Garrideb? She's been oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, that was also technically manslaughter. Oops, I forgot. Listen, I blacked it out of my head, okay, because I was so sad. Oof. She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events had left her in an especially flustered state. What happened to his pants? They were burned, presumably in the fire. Why did he come to court like that? Does he not have any other clothes? Amazing. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could have easily been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon. It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her.
How wonderful! The woman is out of danger, it seems.
Yes, that is good news. So, Mr. Setseki Natsume. He's so twitchy. Yes! On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture, and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. No, it is me who should be begging your pardon. What? Oh, no, Mr. Natsume. That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead.
Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too.
I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me. Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him.
Yes, poor man.
So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police! Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry. One could indeed say that some sort of mysterious spirit has been at work here, I think. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps. We were befooled by the spirit and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Van Zeeks and our young lawyer here, mostly me! That chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you both. Oh! Commend me more. Damn it. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decisions regarding the defendant's culpability. What did Vamport do to earn this praise, right? Fucking nothing, aside from being douchebags who throws wine and glass bottles and, like, glasses at people. Be dramatic and smash chalices, yes. And put his feet on the table. He's done fucking nothing to be worthy of praise here, aside from being a dick. Fuck off. Like, he has so much potential to be a character I love, but unfortunately he is a douchebag. Are you ready to present your findings to the court? As the foreman of this jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion.
I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times.
Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure. Oh, hey there. Sitting in for the old bean while she's out of action, you know? But I know what a decision would be. Does this mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time. I say I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I? Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Fire hazard. Ya boy. He's so bad at putting pieces together in cases, too. My thing is, I think part of it is him, like, feigning ignorance, because that's kind of his job. It's like, if this is the case, then he's putting the burden of proof on you as the defense, I think is probably part of it, but not all of it. Very well, Mr. Soseki Natsume, I hereby pronounce you not fucking guilty. Justice is really just a fire hazard. Yep. We did it, you guys! We finished case 4! Do-do-do-do-do-do! Yeah, boy. Maybe he'll get a redemption arc. I hear that he, according to randos on Twitter who did not give any, like, spoilers or anything, they do say apparently he gets better. I am willing to forgive him for his bullshit if he has some kind of redemption arc, because Edgeworth in the first game was similar. He was not a racist prick, but he was very much like the the prosecutor who is just there to make things difficult for you a lot of the times. And now everyone ships him and the main character together for good goddamn reason. It's a good ship, okay? Good ship. And finally, Mr. Natsume. Oh, yes, Lord, sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me. I never want to see your face again. Oh, yes, sir, of course. On my life, I swear I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Ayo! Get out of here. Oh, Locum! That's not my name. What? Wait, you mean me? Of course! Is there another Locum here? Is there even one? Compared to the original Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it? What's wrong with using my actual name? Oh, at last I'm free! I'm free! Joyful joy is jubilant jubilation! Heady, hearty happiness, hurrah!
Oh, I am pleased. Mr. Natsume is delighted.
Wait. Oh, I am pleased. No, I thought that was maybe the start of a haiku. Would it be so hard to just say that then? Locum, you did it! You saved me from the brink! L! Or what fucking letter is that? It's like a backwards C, I guess. I don't know. Well, what happened to the poorer woman was in no way your fault, after all. I'm just glad everyone can see that now. No, not that! A lovely, loyal Locum lawyer! Yes. I mean, as I said before, I've just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings. And from high up windows, I see them looking down on me, laughing. Look at that little hunchback.
Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsume.
But today, you Locum lawyer gave my gloom the boot. Boot to the head. That's an ancient Ace Attorney joke. You stood firm behind that baronial bench before all those babbling British. You battled to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks amongst the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed, "Behold the best barrister ever born!" Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount to my old friends back in Japan. An anecdote? Is that what's become of all my hard work? Who is this? There you are, my dear fellows. Ah! He is here! Hi, Sholmes! I apologize for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you.
I see I am here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say.
Oh.
The trial should begin presently, Mr. Naruhodo, and I wish you the very best of luck. It's just finished. What? No! Then my haste was in vain? No! It's you! Oh, Herlock Sholmes! Oh, have we met, sir?
This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either of your blink lodgings or that prison cell. I simply couldn't place that curious face in the light. Charming. This is all your fault, Herlock Sholmes. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. My apologies, sir, but I assure you I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Ah. And she'd been taken to a hospital more urgently. I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. Oh, don't be Come on, Sholmes. Oh. but it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. I do feel very badly about how he behaved. Well, never mind. Now then, what was it you wanted to say to me, sir? Nothing. Priceless. Oh, I am sorry, really, but that was quite priceless. Sholmes, don't be a dick. Poor Soseki-san. Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. Is he sounding Australian to you guys? I feel like there's some Australian getting mixed in there, and it's not intentional. British and Australian are very similar in my vocal banks, I suppose. And it would seem you were not even found guilty. But there is no bright side.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsume?
Even after this, I'm still cursed by the spirits, and now by the Reaper. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks. I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you're found not guilty, you're still doomed.
It'll be all right, Mr. Natsume. If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you. Hiya!
Why demo on me?
With a perfectly executed Suzato takedown.
Much as I like being turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time, Miss Suzato. I would love to see her do that to Vampworth. I would love to see it. I genuinely hope that she does at some point. Please. That is all I want from this game now. So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experience to your friends back in Japan? Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon.
Oh!
It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I've visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it.
That's very touching, Mr. Natsume.
Or, in perhaps less veiled terms, you wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse? That's not it at all! It probably is a little bit. The more I learn of literature, the more the strange feeling claws at my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san. Could be an interesting read. And what about Miss Suzato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry, what about us? Will you return to Japan alongside your mustache compatriot? Why would we?
A week is not yet passed since we arrived in London. And only now does it feel as though we have finally found our feet.
And you are accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not? That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us.
I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted.
Well then, you could take my lodgings. Oh, the windowless room? But what it lacks in windows, it more than makes up for with a floor, a ceiling, and walls. I know, I'm screaming like, please be roommates, go live at Sholmes' house, you'll see him every single day. Please. Great. And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirit.
Oh my, an evil spirit?
Oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep. It's an infallible wake-up call. You mean the cat? We'll think about it if that's all right. Perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Yes! Would you consider taking lodgings with me? Yes! Yes! And they were roommates! Oh my god, they were roommates!
Really?
Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself. Though it is up in the attic, I might add. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? Oh my god, they were roommates! I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of.
Oh, this is simply wonderful! What an honor to be invited to taking lodgings in the Great Detective's office's attic? I'm too overwhelmed for words.
Me too, Susanna! Oh my god, they were roommates! So suggesting we look elsewhere is out then. Then it's settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsume. I insist. To make up for all the fuckery that's happened to you.
I don't know what to say, but thank you, and yes. Wonderful. Then I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. It shan't take long.
Somebody's happy. Me too. Somebody's me.
Locum, I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London.
Likewise, Mr. Natsume. It's been a privilege meeting you too. It's a shame that we're gonna have to say goodbye so soon. Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we'll meet again one day. Yes, I'm sure. And hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer. Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful author. We're all just as big as Sholmes fans as Susanna. Listen! It's true! Well, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I've little doubt Mr. Natsume will be released in time for dinner this evening. And so, with Soseki's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221B Baker Street. Oh my god! I'm so happy! This is gonna be fucking great. I can't believe they're just gonna all be buds. Just a little quartet of nerds solving crimes! The attic room. God. It's like Persona 5. So this is to be our new office, yes. Our office? I rather like the sound of that.
Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it?
I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step. But I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now. Kazuma! So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Yes! This is the alternate costume that I saw on the internet! There it is! There it is! Look at him! Look at how fluffy his hair is! Was I lying? Look! He's so fucking cute! God, I just want to stare at him for a minute. Look at his dumb fluffy hair. Oh my god, he's so cute. God, stop. Oh no. My heart. I cannot take him. He's too cute. Fuck. God. And his fucking outfit. He's so cute. He's still got his little bow tie on and his goggles.
It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it.
Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you.
I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate.
Okay, so observe the motifs here. You can see on like the front of her little dress thing, she's got like kind of the diamond pattern with the buttons in the middle, and then when it switches back to Sholmes, he has like the same kind of... Their outfits are very similarly styled, and it just gives me the dokies. It's so cute, they match.
Iris, you must let me help you. All right then, Susie. You can be in charge of the salad.
Why do you need a gun to talk about salad?
Splendid.
But see, look, he's got like the same like diamonds on the front of his chest. They match! They match! It's adorable. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel to have your own office in the capital? It's very exciting, actually. I can't help wondering what adventures await us. Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Oh, whoa. Sorry. London is a glorious place full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights cast the darkest of shadows. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. So once again, Mr. Naruhodo. The fucking fingerless gloves. Welcome to London. Yeah, welcome to London! Shit's fucked! Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depths of the murk that lay behind it. To be continued. And I guess so. Ah! Drama. Landed in London. Oh yes. Let's fucking go. All right. I'm gonna take a sip real quick and then we can jump right the fuck into it. I'm so unbelievably excited about the roommate twist. That is incredible. Cannot wait for this roommate drama. Case 5, what I believe is the last case of this game. Because there are 2 cases in the Ace Attorney Chronicles. There's Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney Adventures, which is this one, and then there's Great Ace Attorney Resolve, which is the second game, which presumably also has 5 more cases. 5 is kind of the general average, 4 or 5, depending on how long the cases are. I forget how many were in Apollo Justice, but in the first trilogy, first game had 5, second game had 4, but the last one was really fucking long. And then the third one had 5. And then Apollo Justice, I can't remember. It's been so long since I've played it. 4 in Apollo? Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember, but I was pretty sure it was 4. And then I only played Spirit of Justice once, and I never played the last game, so I'm unsure of those. But it averages 4 or 5. I really hope it's 5, because I don't want to be... Like, I want to know what happens, but I want to keep playing this game. I want it to last, because I'm really enjoying it. Okay. Let's fucking go. Wait. Okay. The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. That's a Sherlock thing. I know that because I watched the BBC series. It was okay. This is like the one episode that no one talks about.
It's
Tell me a
coming.
story.
Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared.
Doggo.
From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us.
Puppo.
A
Pupper.
hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen.
A woofer.
Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames.
Doggo.
Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so
boy.
terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear.
Woodpet.
Look well, Wilson, Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles.
I wish to pet it, please. Pet, 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 pet. Would give head pats too. Our first 2 months in London's passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we'd emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court? Which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur and unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is,
until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. 15th April, 9:13 a.m., Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Oh. Who's there? Oh, they got all their stuff set up. It's cute! That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Suzato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Suzato-san? Yes! It is time to leave. Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite? Yes! Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Let me see. What case is it today? Here we go again. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. Sus. Sorry, but you're not gonna get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Yeah, Sasato. Ahem. It was just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Alright, I understand. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago, we had a very long telegram from him, do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? I was just wondering, what might have become of Soseki-san if he had stayed in London, that's all. You mean, as regards to Lord Van Zeeks, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled in insignificance in that case. Zeripa. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Oof. Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Being a dick somewhere, probably. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh? Yes, since Soseki-san's trial. He's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then? Ugh, just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry, what was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. I kind of want to look around this room a little bit because it's cute. It's cute in here. It's spring at last and the weather is warmer now. But I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising up from the kettle.
Oh, would you like some tea, Naruhodo-san?
Thank you, Suzato-san, but I'm alright for now. With the green tea Suzato-san makes me from time to time and Iris' unique herbal infusions. This place is paradise for a true tea lover.
Green tea is such a wonderful accompaniment to British tea cakes, don't you think?
My thing is, I like green tea flavored things. Like, I love matcha flavor. And the prefecture I used to live in was famous for it. But just green tea by itself was always too bitter for me. But I love, like, matcha ice cream and stuff like that. I actually have a few packs of green tea that one of my students gave me right before I left. It was like a goodbye present. I still have it. So maybe I will drink that someday. Someday. I still have it. Saving it. For when? I don't know. We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already.
You could tidy up once in a while.
Suzato-san, I always say, making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. And time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause. Maybe it's because you like it with sweeteners. Yeah, I am a fan of sweet stuff, so that would make sense. But I'm not sure if, like, do you put sugar in green tea? And I don't know. Is that allowed? Is that allowed? I don't know. Maybe with honey would be better. I could try it, certainly. I don't know jack shit about tea, though, is the problem.
And time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework.
Sugar and honey. I will remember that. It'll pop up in the corner. Star will remember that. But I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. Take some honey and plop it in. I've been putting honey in my tea this month. That sounds good. I will try that when I actually go around to drinking that tea.
Oh, is this a little tea ceremony kit?
Yes, cute. So this is a tea set that Suzato-san brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. Oh, okay, it's not just me. That answers that question. It's just so bitter.
Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Naruhodo-san. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it, you know. I don't like to see you screw up your face so.
It is really bitter, but I imagine it would be good with sweeteners and stuff. Why is there a random shovel up here? That spade has been in here since we started renting the place.
Oh, that's not a spade, Naruhodo-san. It's a shovel.
No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. Are you fucking kidding me? Is this game doing the ladder thing, but with shovels this time? Are we about to have a ladder argument with a different skin on it? Oh my god! Incredible! Okay, so backstory. There are 2 ladder dialogues as well. Blessed! Okay, so for those, I know several people in here are not familiar with previous Ace Attorney games. In previous Ace Attorney games, there was kind of a joke where if you examined a ladder at any point in the games, whenever you examined a ladder, you would get into a fight with whoever you were with about the difference between a ladder and a step ladder. It's like, aren't they the same thing? No, they're clearly very different things. And so now it appears as though it has transpersed to shovels. I love this boy. Your ancestry is showing, Mr. Right. Amazing.
No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel.
Oh, she's so mad. I don't want to dig a hole for myself, so let's leave it. Oh, that's a delight. That is a delightful little cookie for the folks who have played the previous games. Oh, bless.
Does she have a little calligraphy set? It's so pretty cute.
Ah, this must be the telegram. Let's see.
Yeah! No, you mustn't look at that. Not under any circumstances.
All right, I won't.
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, but you can be very mischievous at times.
Then put the telegram away if you don't want people looking at it. Okay, fine. I wanted to look at her desk, but that's okay. Do they have a little fish tank? We were rather lucky to find that old aquarium left behind here. The prawns we put in there are doing rather well, and the anemones too.
It's a wonderful invention, isn't it? The sea behind glass inside your room. Another example of Great Britain's greatness.
I kind of want a fish tank. I haven't had a fish tank since I was a little kid. I don't have room for it now, but I'm hoping that when I eventually move out and get a bigger place, I want to get a fish tank. Like a small one. Or like a medium-sized one. I would love, like they have in Mass Effect, like like you go into your room in Mass Effect and you just have a whole wall aquarium. I would love that. I would literally kill a man for that. But this specific having to clean it out and change the water isn't so great though, is it? If I could afford a tank that big, I would afford somebody to take care of it for me so all my fish don't die. Do you know, I've never seen inside your room there, Suzato-san. I've never even peeped inside.
I should think so, too. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know.
Whatever you say, young maiden. Alright, now let's go. Let's go downstairs. And say hello to our roommates.
Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie.
Good morning, Art. What is that? Sholmes? Is that you? Hang on. I love him so much. God damn it, he is precious. Doing so good, bud. He's doing so good. Listen to that. God. Like, I know you guys can't see what I'm doing because I don't use a face cam, but I'm just head in my hands right now. Oh, it's gonna go fast now. Stop giving me reasons to love this. Stop. God, he's cute. Okay, enough of that.
Good morning, Iris.
Iris?
What is it, Runo?
What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Oh, don't be mean! He's trying so hard!
Yes. You noticed that, did you?
Oh, look at him go!
Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems.
Oh no! My son! No! He's sad! No! Look at him! He's so... No! My boy! No! Hello.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Good morning. No! A good morning to die, perhaps. Sir? Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. Humph. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Oh, he's having some emo times. He's a sad man today. Damn this blanched existence! That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me. If it's not too much trouble. Oh, what's got you down, Mr. Fuzz? Mr. Hair? Just little head pats. It'll be okay, buddy. Excuse me? Do you guys have a cat and you didn't tell me? An angel! look, it's Wagahai.
Good morning, boy.
That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. What button is press the cat? What button to press to pet cat? But how did it get there?
Well then, everyone, time for breakfast.
Go back to the cat! I wasn't done!
Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris.
Ugh. It would indeed be a fine day to die. Sholmes, what's got you down, bud? Oh, I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. Oh, hey, where'd all his shit go? He had like a whole bunch of machines up there. Are you guys getting evicted? Did your shit break? What's going on? What's going on, bud? What's going on with you? You seem very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its melosonant tones would make flowers bloom. It would. But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddess of music have thrown me over.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. Are you just sad because you suck at the violin? Oh no. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever! No more recitals of unbridled emotion!
Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley?
Don't worry, I'm sure it'll come back to you in time. Is he just sad that he's not good at playing violin right now? Bud, heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercilessly withdraw it. Oh, dear. Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left for pity's sake? What is left? Well, your hair's pretty cute. So is your face. Oh no, I wasn't done looking at your cute face. Deduction perhaps? Oh yeah, I guess that too, I suppose. Isn't that what you're known for? Detectiving, yeah.
And Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today.
Ah, well done, Miss Susato. Your observational skills do you credit.
Oh, no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale in insignificance when compared to yours.
You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you?
You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's at Windybanks now.
Sorry, it's at Windy Bank?
No, Windybanks, the pawnbrokery.
Oh no, what happened? Are you guys broke? What? You mean you pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see, quite undeservingly.
But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I would have gladly passed what little income I have to you.
Dear madam, things are far from desperate.
But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate?
Making use of a pawnbroker is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. I'm so upset by Sad Sholmes. It doesn't feel right. It feels very wrong. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? I'm so sad about Sad Sholmes. This is the saddest shit I've ever seen. He's like a puppy. He's like a kicked puppy. God, I can't stand seeing him like this. My mans, sir. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks.
Banks?
On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily throughout the week. Besides Kazuma, listen.
And then on Saturdays, they go recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London.
And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise.
Oh, how ingenious.
Okay, so the knife in the back, when she's in this pose, it kind of looked like it's blinking her in the head. Like, boop, 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 boop. It's just like a little bit of a tangent. I noticed that when her sprite came up last time, it's just like, boop, boop.
So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Winterbanks, you see?
A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain?
Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley?
What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Bud. Talk to Iris. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then.
Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy.
It would appear his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews as empty as the hearts of the muses. Shut up, Sholmes! I know you're sad, but don't be a cat hater. Come on. Oh! Oh! Oh!
If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
I suspect he would have taken him if he could. But pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed.
Don't remind me.
Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable. Meow.
Yes, he really is. Oh, yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did it come from?
Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Runo. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention.
The cat dorinator? What is that?
I call it the cat flap mat.
Oh,
Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right. It can make a cat flap for a furry little friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see.
Wouldn't it have been quicker to just make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap?
Well, yes, maybe. But now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris.
She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. She's cute.
Kitty! Oh, what was that?
Owagahai? Uh-oh. 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 What was that?
Oh no! Wagahai's tangled up in your violin!
Oh no!
I think he thinks it's a toy.
No! What's he doing to it?
Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care? What? I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is more accomplished musician than I, now.
Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, Anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley?
Out of the cat's reach if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Okay, let me... Is the violin over here yet? Yeah, there it is. Oh, one of the strings broke. This is a violin, is it? Oh, it's a little fucked up, too. It's got a big-ass scratch on it. It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Don't those cost, like, millions of dollars? Sholmes? Do you have something you want to tell us? I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember reading somewhere that, like, specifically Stradivarius violins cost, like, millions of dollars. They're, like, put behind glass cases and shit. He's famous and owns a mansion. I wouldn't say he owns the mansion. He said he had a landlady. Like, I don't think he owns this place. He rents it. Why do you have that? Oh, I see. It doesn't really look anything like anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. What the fuck, Sholmes? And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is none!
Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
What do you mean, Mrs. Otto?
Oh, Susie's right! Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different.
And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? Wait, did someone come in and, like, swap his violin when he wasn't looking? What's this? Somebody stole his violin because they knew how much it was worth and replaced it?
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all.
Is it a fucking viola? Then what?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola.
Knew it. What? What? Is that why he sucks? Because someone swapped it with a viola?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes,
You're right! You're quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner, then? Well, that explains a lot of shit. Viola's like... A viola is to violin what a bass guitar is to a regular guitar, I believe. It's like they have one string that goes lower. I think. Don't quote me on that. I was in orchestra. I played violin in middle school for 3 years. I sounded about how Sholmes sounded earlier today.
I see what must have happened.
You do, Iris?
This is just a simple mix-up.
Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what happened if we ask her. Okay, let's do that then. Hey Iris, what the fuck? What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this viola, I mean, was at Windybanks until last week. At the pawnbroker's?
The viola has the shape and near size as a violin and the strings of a cello. Interesting. Yeah, I know it's about the same size as a violin, because, like, I was last chair violin, so I always sat next to the violas. Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. Oh, you're not slouching anymore. You good? There's a proverb from the East which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
Yes, indeed.
So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers and hoped that it would experience personal growth? villain's gonna go have a character arc somewhere. I don't know. Oh, what a wonderful idea. Last week, I pawned my grain analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windybank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. What if you did that to plants? Just yeet them out the window for personal growth. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. Pshaw, a fine state of affair this is. That is why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. And yet... But earlier you told us you could think of a pawnbroker as an extremely secure vault. Come, Mr. Naruhodo, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, fessing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? Oh, now he's all excited. We must visit Mr. Windybank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Mr. Zato, without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to fess your egg ever more obtusely. All right, say no more, let's go then.
Don't worry, Bruno. I'll be happy to heat it up for you again later.
Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker's looks like. Let's fucking go. Just his face with that subtitle, wanting to die. Mood. Alright, let's go.
Oh, Little Ghost Goblin, thank you for the sub! Welcome to the sub squad. Thank you! Resub for 3 months. Thank you.
Let's go to the broker shop. Yeehaw! So this is a British pawnbrokery.
Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before.
Including what I think were some shovels in the corner, and I'm willing to bet that if we look at the shovels, we are gonna get another shovel fight, and I cannot wait, personally. Ah, Suzato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this.
Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me.
Oh, he's got his coat back on. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging by the look of fury in his eyes. Okay, this punk needs a voice. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, sir, welcome back. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo, and it's time to inform Mr. Windybank of our ire. Come! The fight is afoot! You gonna be a Karen, Sholmes? I need to look at these shovels, because I need the shovel fight to continue. What are you doing, oh, come on, Sholmes, don't block me. We aren't here to browse for interesting curios. We have come to teach this broker a lesson.
But I want to look at the shovels. Oh, but there are just so many fascinating items.
It looks as though we'll have to talk to Mr. Windybank first before you can explore and hear Miss Suzato. Fine! Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes. This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windybank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size.
A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me, and an excusable mistake for a pawnbroker. Yeah, being a Karen is justified here. It is true. It's true. Sholmes. I have to give him crap. That's what I do when I love. There's only one way to make amends. Sir? I shall have to take my own life! What is this seppuku bullshit? I don't think that will be necessary to you. If I may just say one more thing before I pop off. Sir? Yes? It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry? As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch a violin when I heard, here it is. You did. Sholmes! And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. Sholmes. Sir. Sholmes! However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt tie with me. Don't commit Sudoku, dude. No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine. Jesus Christ, this would be a banned episode if this were Pokemon. Phew.
It would appear that the fight is over.
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windibank. Evidently my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. That's Sholmes speaks for, I fucked up. Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition, now would you? Haha, I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I need to remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past.
Oh? Peculiar items?
In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such.
Oh my! A new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I've yet to read, you mean?
Forgive me!
Wait, before you die, you must tell me more,
Susato! Bruh. This fucking guy needs to calm down. Someone take that away from him.
I must know more, tell me everything!
Wow, Susato-san's really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windibank. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir, not a farthing more. It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I beg your pardon, a manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here. And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings. Securely. Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you. On my life, put that down! This is all very strange. I wonder, could I ask you something? A gentleman from the East, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6p for it. I'm not selling my clothes, dude. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Aha! But for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say.
Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting.
Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Listen, kimonos are expensive, man. Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned.
But what happens if they don't pay you the money?
Then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed, then?
That's right, ma'am, that's right, which means some of the considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. The very idea, Mr. Windibank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually. Oh. You think, sir? Says the man who was telling us all a good day to die only this morning. Fucking hypocrite, look at him go. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device which Mr. Windibank has installed here in his shop. I call it the Red-Handed Recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windibank? What was that deep sigh about? What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. Two just below the ceiling. I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Very astute. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. 30 minutes. That's 2 per hour. So it only lasts, like, a couple days. Here, I have an example I can show you. Ah yes, a print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive, it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really? That's extraordinary.
Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the bell behind it, look. Or in the door behind it, look.
So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed if they just happened to be walking by when it was taking the picture.
But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madam.
Then what if the incident were to occur in between times?
One could only say that it would be a cruel twist of fate. I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Windibank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously placed not 1, but 2 cameras in my shop after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older. That's the cost of ingeniousness, sir. Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the I cannot talk today. Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbroker, you know? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price. Oh, heaven help us. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Ah, the very thing! Thank you, Mr. Windibank. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer! I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. Fear not. Sorry. I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. Okay, so it's Russian roulette then. That's not really what I meant. Good day to you then, Mr. Windibank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. Jeez, this guy.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last.
Alright, let's look at those fucking shovels.
Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter over there.
Mr. Windibank is, if nothing else, very peculiar about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger. This revolver here. Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow. I assure you, Mr. Windibank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed belying his portly size.
Oh, you don't mean he'd...
Blow his brains out? Indeed. In recompense for his blunder. Oh no! Guy, jeez!
Oh my. But in any case, we of course would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it?
Don't worry, I'm gonna look at it again. Dog picture! In the background, dog picture. It is a dog. It's a little golden retriever, it looks like. Oh. Oh. Oh, that definitely is a photo that someone slapped a Photoshop filter on. He's like, oi, we need a picture of a dog. I'm on it. Tick, tick, tack. You know, I'm willing to bet that's probably like one of the developers' dogs. Willing to bet. Okay, we've already been through all this. Oh, wait, but that means I can't look at all the shovels. But I wanted another shovel conversation, damn it. I wanted another shovel conversation. I want to look at the shovels. Oh, that's disappointing. This is the TikTok section. This is where the teens hang out.
Look at this! Look at this lovely big shiny box beat.
The Ace Attorney developers are not above putting their dogs in their video games. Lest we forget Missile, the angel that is Missile in not just Ace Attorney, but also in Ghost Trick. Missile!
Look at this lovely big shiny box bee.
That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country.
Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before.
Shall we listen a while?
What a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels.
Never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played.
My goodness! What a simply delightful machine!
Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace.
Aw, that was cute.
What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn, or colloquially pop, an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit. And I don't have any other clothes, saith Mr. Naruhodo. It's a big obvious calendar. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April, today's date. We're only 2 days away from Castoff's birthday. And my podcast's birthday. April 17th. Read my webcomic, listen to my podcast. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windibank. Ahoy! And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period is passed without repayment, some articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say.
Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job.
Anything else? Anything else? What's this thing?
Now what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does?
It seems to have 2 little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope.
A Fascinating.
It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I have a look.
Just before you do, there's something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today.
Alright then, I'm going to try it.
Oh, she's cute.
Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, you must see at once!
Alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose. What is this dramatic music? Who's that? I don't believe it. Boomst. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. I feel like she's going to be a character. They are quite often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them.
Why?
Why are people meddling with such black magic? Oh no, baby. It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day. You just don't know. Just say you don't know, Sholmes.
Oh.
Okay, is that all? Is that everything? Am I gonna turn around and Sholmes is gonna be in a weird fucking position? Ah, not this time, it seems. There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain there. That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Windbank keeps articles that are currently in pawn.
Ah, I see.
There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any larcenous activity. Recommended or not, it's not something I intend to do. There is but one key, and Mr. Windibank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot, which he slides under his pillow. How on earth do you know about that, Mr. Sholmes? Deduction. I am a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do not. I keep forgetting he's a detective because he's just so much. I am frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain.
Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder.
And the prime suspect if this prawn broker buy some shrimps. And the prime suspect if this pawnbroker is ever burgled. We're here to burgle your prawns.
Oh, Roxy. What was that noise, baby?
She made a weird little noise behind me. Doesn't look like we can tap on the skull, though. Okay, I guess we're done here. We haven't been here yet. Yeah, Roxy's on her bed behind me. Licking herself. Roxy! Oi! Quit with the licking. Little doggies. Nah, she's fine. Okay, so this is outside the shop, I guess. Look at all the different things in the window of this shop.
Ah, that's Windibank's. The prawn brokery.
Prawn! Fuck! The prawn brokers. Where they sell you. That's where they bought their shrimps from. God, I can't talk today. It looks so much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, doesn't it?
Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable, personally.
It reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable.
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruhodo.
It's the prawn broker. I can't believe they misspelled the sign. It's supposed to be prawn brokers. Come on, get with it. I feel like this will be more important when there's actually things happening, but for now, let us return. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do now. I feel like maybe there was more to do there. Sholmes has a skull too. We're all just skull collectors here. Collecting skulls. Oh yeah, I can't talk to him anymore either. I guess I do have to leave. Maybe I'll look at stuff here. Oh, well, the other shops are closing. Interesting to note. Oh wait, there's a sideways. Oh! It's literally right next door. Okay. It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' suite. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this.
Oh, I know! To actually be sharing his accommodation with the world's greatest detective. If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I shall have not one regret.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd be happy to defend you, of course. Storage a dozen feet away. Yeah, it's like literally just down this freaking street. Is there anything worth examining in here? Fire. Empty-ass desk. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk, it's completely clear. Isn't that enormous machine usually on it?
We can never hope to understand what goes on in the great detective's mind, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah, it's just like a couple of rocks that banging around in there.
Why, next time we're invited, we may find he's vacated the entire suite.
That's scarily plausible, actually. Mr. Sholmes? Whose skull is that? There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high I can't help feeling that the whole lot's gonna topple at any moment.
Oh, it's such a charmingly untidy collection of paraphernalia, isn't it?
It just looks messy to me, like my desk.
But you, Mr. Naruhodo, must learn to tidy up after yourself.
No favoritism there, then. Of course not. Yeah, the backgrounds are really nice. And they're at least partially 3D, because, like, keep an eye on the music stand. It shifts a little bit. Like, these are all separate parts to get that parallax scrolling in there. That's really interesting. It's giving me flashbacks to that VTuber model I'm working on with all the layers. Fire's burning comfortably in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow.
Oh, look at that photographic print of a lady displayed on the mantelpiece. Could it be? Yes, it must be! It's the woman! Oh, how exciting!
Is that supposed to mean something to me? Clearly an achievement. Perhaps a Sherlock Holmes reference that I'm not getting? These are all mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases, I think. This would probably be a lot more interesting to me if I knew anything about Sherlock Holmes. If he'd been involved in my case, I wonder if the beefsteak from Le Carnival would be on display here. Gross.
A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon. Ah, what an entrancing collection!
Looks like an untidy assortment of junk to me, rather what's like on my own shelf.
Well, you really ought to learn to keep your things in order, Mr. Naruhodo.
No favoritism there at all. Oh, I can go one over. Oh, That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles, too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems.
Science is the future, Mr. Naruhodo. You can't deny it. I'm saving my money so I can buy some chemistry apparatus as well.
Law, chemistry, takedown throws. What diverse skills you boast, Miss Usato.
As useful as they are, I'm not sure that my throwing skills are worthy of inclusion in that list.
Sure they are! You're very good at throwing.
Look at her little tea set.
Your PNG in the fancy suit. Listen! I gotta dress up nice for my court appearances, okay? Iris's beautiful tea set is there on the table as well. A cup of one of her special herbal blends always helps me relax when I'm feeling the strain.
The English pastime of tea has many similarities with our own tea ceremony customs, don't you think? It's the idea of hospitality behind it. That's the essence of tea.
This big typewriter. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Iris doing much writing recently. But there's paper already set up in the typewriter, look, as if she's about to start.
That reminds me, when I mentioned that Iris was in the process of writing a full-fledged novel, Mr. Natsume was most impressed.
Ah yes, Mr. Natsume.
That's what I'll be doing too once I'm back in Japan, he said through tightly clenched fists and teeth.
Little bottle of something, can't examine it though. What am I to do then? Because nothing else is popping up. Can I talk to you now? Can I examine the thing now? Or will you yell at me again? No. What to do?
Can it really be that we've been in Great Britain for 2 months already?
Yes, it's gone by in a flash, hasn't it?
And what an English gentleman You
trailed off there, Susato-san. We need to find Sholmes. Yeah, where'd he go? He just kind of disappeared.
I'm so sorry. When I thought it through, I realized it's not at all true, actually. I simply don't feel that any Britishness has really rubbed off on you.
Nor you, to be honest.
Well, that's obviously because...
Yes, I know. Without a doubt, it's your kimono. It most certainly stands out.
I do adore the attire of English ladies. It's quite delightful. Somehow, I just don't feel ready to abandon my Japanese dress just yet.
I wonder how Susato-san would look in Western clothes. That would be interesting to see. Okay, so that's not helpful. Where is my boy? Where has he gone? Yes, I want to see her in a bobby hat too. She's earned it. It's like I can't... Am I just not examining something that I should have examined already? What are we doing? Where's my boy Sholmes? Where's my dude? Where has he gone? Okay, we looked at the calendar. Oh, look, he's got some little cacti buddies. Oh, that's the...
Look at this! Whatever could it be used for?
I have no idea.
Ah. There's a small catch just here, look.
We're going to open it, aren't we?
Oh my, that's amazing! It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Which we'll never manage to put back the way it was before. Oh, there he is! Where were you? What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing? No, nothing at all! Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. You mean like on the other side of the room? Oh, who is this extremely Cockney British person? What? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, and you know it. The article is barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Okay, I guess we had to just examine the thing on the floor, and we missed it. Come on, that can't be right. Have you a proper butcher's at it? I've seen all I need to see, young girl. Oh, is this our girl? Is this our girl? Is she back? Yay! Yay! She's back! My baby! Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her.
Oh, yes, it's the young lady. From Mr. McGilda's trial 2 months ago.
I was wondering if she was ever going to show up again. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, hands a crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. She's so cute. I'm glad she's back. Hello, and she's got a little jacket on now. She's so cute. Hi, Gina. Gordon, Bennett, you lot. Excuse me. Why do you still have that?
Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well.
Eh?
Well, you remember me then, do ya?
Well, I remember being completely surrounded by the smoke, that's for sure.
So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come and pop that black weasel, sorry, coat, have ya?
What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Ah, good day. Unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Ah, Mr. Sholmes.
So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Winterbank on your behalf.
Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, or I'll make trouble for you.
As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. Yeet! He's really done it. He's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc? Disc.
And you. Go on, leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest.
She's so cute. Suzette-san can really stand her ground when she wants to.
Whatever.
Hello. Glad to see you again. Glad you weren't a one-off character. Somehow I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade.
Yeah, well, I am, all right. I'm a Londoner just like everyone else. That's a problem, is it?
No, not at all. It's just that, well...
Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase.
Is he here? Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines.
You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Alright, then I'm just gonna come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people?
Well, I don't know how to answer that, really. Suppose. Sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade? But not this time, alright? I swear, that thing belongs to me!
The disc that Mr. Winterbank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Talk to my dude. What's up, Windy Banks? Disc.
Mr. Winterbank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on the surface.
This is a music disc, you see, for use inside a music box. In a music box? In a music box.
What? You don't even know what a music box is? Tch, you Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh?
Oi. I know what a music box is, I've just never seen one of these discs before. The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going and beautiful music plays.
It's so incredible! Tell us, what tune is on this disc?
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box, you see. British-made, German, Swiss... I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Ah, I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny.
That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was, well...
He? Who?
Never you mind. It just ain't right, that's all. That disc's worth good money, I know it is.
Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you?
Yeah.
She's been in before, of course, this little tattered Demelian. I see. And brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add.
Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me.
So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in? Well, if only it were that simple. Sorry, what do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket.
Storage ticket? So... Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. A guy like me has a lot of stuff would need storing.
Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her.
But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windibank.
The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. The jacket? It's the overcoat that she redeemed.
Oh. What? What's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, what about the disc, then? How does that come into all this?
Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn if the girl and I can agree on a price. I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I understand it. That's right, yes, and rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean...
What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? The disc.
If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am.
And she immediately tried to pawn it.
For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think.
Give it up. I was just trying to pawn something like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me.
Doesn't really appear to be your size.
Me old man! It's me old man's, ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade?
Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Out of my way, please! Who is this? Hello, whomster you, Mr. Top Hat? Who is this picture postcard English gentleman? He's a guy. What's up, Tuxedo Mask? Okay, he needs a voice. Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. That's boring. Gotta mix it up.
What's your problem, eh?
There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I've a matter to discuss with the proprietor. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Yeah.
Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line.
Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket.
Eh? Who are you? How do you know who I am?
The question is, how do you not know who I am? Don't you know who I am? I'm a fucking rich bitch.
You haven't the courtesy to even remember the Ooh, spicy. You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Roka? Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, He did it. I don't know what he did, but he did it. The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my! Now that's a lie! What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say... any music box discs too. You fucking pawned my mixtape. No, you can't have it! You just can't! It's me old man's, or it was, now it's mine! Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. Yes. I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying? What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life I ain't ever laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you brought in here just now. No, I swear it. I swear to God. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business, when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh yes, as you can see, I'm a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. He's like Tuxedo Mask if Tuxedo Mask was a dick. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Ugh. Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. You're going to cause trouble. I shall have no choice but to call the police. Hold on! Why does everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy cove, and you think I'm the dodgy one? I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence, naturally. You what? Oh, she looks so scared. Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman? Oh, oops. Of course, we need only consult Mr. Windibank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Yes, brilliant. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. Oh? I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine. A sus policy? What if someone, drops off evidence from a crime? But why not? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it? Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Of course, it's... Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. A watchword? Interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windibank. As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers... Sholmes, he's not even paying attention even a little bit. God, look at him go. Just looking at the thingy.
There are many reasons why certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it?
Great Detective has no dark secrets, none at all.
Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. A date of deposit, a description, and the watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, I then give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article? That's right, sir, yes, just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already. But for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat, deposited 2 months ago on 15th February. With a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir.
But how?
Really, this is beyond a joke now. There's no further room for doubt. Ugh. Can we talk to him too? Yeah. This fucking prick. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you're not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry. Yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. What? Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup dressed up with exotic spice. What? What? Oh, live on as in eat, not live on as in an island in a soup ocean. Ignore me. You might be thinking of somewhere else. And what was that theatrical gesticulation about? Perhaps. Anyway, if you were a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really.
My name is Susato Mikotoba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant.
I see. God, now I want ramen. Does that count as exotic spices? The little flavor packets in ramen? My name is Benedict. Yeah. Excuse me? Eggert Benedict. Eggman. Dr. Eggman. The other translation, it's just egg. Eggman. Egg. Egg. Enchanté. Can we just call him Egg? Absolutely. Absolutely we can. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. What's up, Egg? Now, to the matter at hand. What was that? My overcoat. Return it at once to someone with a style to carry it off.
Every move he makes, every breath he takes. Can't stand watching him.
What was his full name? Eggert? Eggbort? Egmond? So let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Eggman. Eggedict Benedril. Egerton Sussidict. Suspicious man. Eggington. Eggson. Eggson, son of Egg. With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back.
This is why I hate grown-ups. Just 'cause I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar.
And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. But of course, sir, here's the disc for you. Just this one. Pardon, sir? I was expecting another. That is, I deposited another. Another disc? Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you?
Says who, eh? I don't know nothing about it.
Would it be off-putting to give Eggman a Russian accent? Because I feel like I've done too many British at this point. I feel like I need to mix it up. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style.
Wait a minute, that disc is mine.
Oh shit, get him! Ah, what do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal! What if you just make him like Shakespearean? How would I do that, though?
Oh my, yes, there's blood on the disc.
Because of those sharp little bumps. The man must have scratched his finger on them. Through the gloves, damn.
I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me old man. So you're not having it. Oi, you take it.
Me?
If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again, so you keep hold of it.
Miss Lestrade, eh? Why is this disc so important to her? I guess we have that now. You there, in the block livery. Hand that disc to me at once, please.
No, don't! He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars.
What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Ask him what's on it. And then play it. I bet that's what we have to do. Look at Mr. Winterbank watching Okay, fine. I was thinking maybe we could suggest, like, hey, just play it, and if you guys can identify what song plays, then it's yours, you know? Wow, Miss Lestrade is really looking daggers at that mysterious gentleman. We need to do something to calm things down before she loses control and attacks him again. Maybe talk? There is no talking. There is only action. Those piercing eyes. He's clearly in no mood to talk. We have to do something quickly before the... Okay. Or he goes to fetch the police or something. What do you have to say about it? Mr. Winterbeck is clearly at a loss here. We have to do something about this before he reaches for that revolver of his. Sholmes in the corner, you're right! Sholmes, pay attention! Mr. Sholmes? What are you examining with such keen interest there? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. Has he got himself a snack? Uh-oh. Sad Sholmes is back? So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows. Cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. Oh, bud. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperate. God, he's like a puppy. He's a fucking sad dog. God, you ignore him for 5 minutes and he gets so upset. Little buddy. So desperately lonely. Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes, I feel simply awful for you. Don't. He was... Ui. It would seem that my inferences are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again? My dear madam, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commoditized, how much could I pawn it for? Good question. Seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration. But who knows if it'll help resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Well, we're gonna do the little dance, obviously. Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament.
Tch! Where in the blue blazes have you been, eh?
Pardon?
When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help.
Straight away! Oh yeah, get him!
Not an hour later.
Harsh. And who, pray tell, are you? I keep switching his accent, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find one that's comfortable for Eggman. Mr. Eggert Benedict. You have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon? The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. Eggington.
It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction.
Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Herlock Sholmes Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Yay! Everybody put on your heelys! It's time to do some little spins. Let's go! Topic 1. Mystery Man's Aim. I'm gonna take a sip of my water. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured into this pawnbrokery today. I'm trying really hard not to say prawn brokery again. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having to have the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. What you got in your hand, sus boy? As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly clutched to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot. I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. Oh, the cane's not his, it had different initials on it. The end of any walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. His little goggles! And yet detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir. Something wrong? Aye. Well, lie. And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. Yeah, I did hear the sound of something ripping. What walking cane demands such a stout handle, mused I? But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod is the broken handle of a shovel. What? Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. Okay, Sholmes. Whatever, bud. The tunnel underneath the pawnbroker, eh? Dig. Must dig. Dig hole. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. But we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Ugh. Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you're only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you... In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Which brings us to, at last, the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off with from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. Beyblade, let it rip! Spin! You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit at the vault of the bank on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank, the special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. Sholmes, did you accidentally just reveal state secrets? Sir. Sir. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle. He tries so hard. But he's so dumb. Mr. Sholmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo. An impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? Indeed, though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Gregson told me in the strictest confidence. Oh no. But you just announced it to everyone here. Rather loudly, in fact. Ah. He's so dumb! And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly it is because the man is a criminal.
But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret.
Oh. He's just so dumb! There's nothing going on in there, just rocks and ping pong balls. Boink, 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 boink. Just bouncing around. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windibank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all. Oh, my life! I assure you I'm not so unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care, and never told to Herlock Sholmes, for he will tell all of your secrets. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them, and once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo! An excellent idea! God. So dumb.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure.
Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Put on your heelys! Let's do this shit! Very well then, allow us to start once more from the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. Let's go! Okay. Let's get ahead to the first thing. Followed a pickpocket here. But that's a lie. The real truth has revealed that which you hold in your hands. Staff recruitment flyer. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor.
Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he?
No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. Question is, where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? Let's find out. Spin him around. Oh, spicy. Oh, it's a little doodle of Gina.
Oh, look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here.
I don't believe it.
What is it?
Now listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade. Height, 5'2". Oh, she's baby. Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade.
Goodness!
There's even a sketch of her hat and all. Although if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure.
And look, the details of this shop had been written on here too. Windibank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street. Redemption deadline 15th April.
Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? Because he's a criminal!
Take that!
Yes, what brought you into this shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Slipped into some British there for him, unfortunately. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer pertain to the pickpocket Miss Lestrade and to Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery here. Ah. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of this flyer that led you here today. By which I mean, here to Windibank's Pawnbrokery, and today, the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. Humph. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly clutched to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot. I had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. I have no idea how to pronounce that word, sorry. What's a ferrule?
It's the metal cap commonly found at the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo.
Egg initials. Yeah, I was looking at that too. Ah, the bit that makes a nice clacking sound on the pavement?
Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane.
But it doesn't actually look broken, does it?
No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious.
In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. Egg. Look here, Mrs. Otto. There's some letters on the handle.
Ah, yes, those must be initials, I think.
AG is silver, right? Like the... It's either gold or silver. One is AU. I think gold is AU and AG is silver.
In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names.
So Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean?
That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously. Oh.
AG. Why does it feel as though that's not quite right?
Take that!
Egg. Egbert Gregert. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Egbert Beggington? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet in a most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't... You said before that you'd had this cane for years. Ugh. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. Egbert Gregert. Gregington. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? Well, And in your recoiling, you would inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. This handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Now, let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat, and now a mysterious man has appeared introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him.
But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue.
So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him, because it's ripped on the back. Ah, there it is. There it is.
Take that!
The split seam, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Ah. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so baldly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. God. This catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windibank. Ah. But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. He's dumb, but he's cute. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. Well, we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of pawnage? You've forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword. on. Had I not been one to deposit it in the first place, how could I have possibly have known the relevant details? C'est pas. But I don't speak French, bro. Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only well too aware, Mr. Egdict. And your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the council note. Nope. The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers. Which is a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword.
Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windibank would never allow you to redeem the article.
Or, looking at it another way, if you didn't know that word, Mr. Windibank would allow you to if you did know that word, Mr. Windibank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? He's got a fucking big-ass book of stuff. Look at this, Miss Usato.
Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Windibank has scribbled to himself.
Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Windibank must make a note of the watchwords his customers give him right before their eyes. And in alarmingly clear script as well.
Oh dear. I don't know where to look.
Who knows what other secrets I might see? Yes, we must look at the dog. Show me the doggo! Show me the doggo! Show me the fucking doggo! This is a crime. This is a hate crime because I hate it.
Take that!
I want to see the dog. The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on the notelet he has on hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. Diligent. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in the shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windibank. When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Lestrade. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had a very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets.
Which, according to Mr. Windibank, isn't even worth a penny.
And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why?
I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo.
Could we? Really? Better have a thorough look at all the evidence we've collected so far. I mean, there's only one. Ooh! Interessante!
Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck to the reverse side of the disc, look! And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. For McGilded.
McGilded? It couldn't be.
But it is, Mr. Naruhodo! A name I shall never forget as long as I live.
But why? Why is his name on this? He faked his death, he faked his death, he faked his death. I told you guys, he faked his death. I knew it.
Take that!
Fucking knew it. His real name is Egbert Gregory McGilded.
Pigeon Walks, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream squad. You see, this God, I cannot talk today. This music box disc tells us all we need to know.
What's that on the back?
It reads, from McGilded. Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded. The unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Egbert Greg. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today...
Yes, my Beyblade boys!
...was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded.
Yeah. Does a gay little dance that pisses you off. I love my boys. Look at them go. Look at them go.
Well, well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected here in these circumstances. Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
Pray tell, Miss Susato.
Well, according to what Mr. Windibank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today is 15th April, so 2 months ago today. Would have been 15th February, sir, that's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Wasn't that the date of the first trial? Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests...
Yes, 15th February.
Is precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. Oh shit, I fucking knew it! If you don't see the body, there's no proof that they're dead. Hey!
And 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding.
Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. What have you to say to that, Egbert? You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However... Oh! Okay! I must insist you hand over the music box disc now. It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. What do I do? Kick him in the fucking shins. There's some things a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not. Yeah, there he is! Mr. Windibank! This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life! Mr. Windibank, no! Shoot him! Alright, that's enough. Who's this? Oh, it's Fish and Chips. Inspector Gregson! Inspector? That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, eh? Oh, praise be, you're here at last! I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment! Listen, of course I'm gonna call him Fish and Chips, that's all I remember about him. Aside from that and his bowler hat. It would seem you have the upper hand. Right, you lot have some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy.
Petty? Mr. Windibank very nearly met his end.
Yeah, by his own gun, as far as I can tell.
Oh dear.
And the whole of Britain could meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on. What? What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter. It's nothing to do with you lot. Sholmes is like, but tell me though, I want to know. Anyway, so you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. Oh, he should just sashay away. He's getting away. Get after him, lads. Whistle the beat officer too. Sir. Sashay away, motherfucker. There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently, so we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Permanently in Mourning. Oh. Yes? I guess because of the color of his outfit. I'll be taking that whatever it is in McGilded's down to the yard, thank you very much. Sign it over. Oh, yes, of course.
No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is, mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken as evidence now. As evidence? If the police department demands something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. And so we handed Mr. McGilded's disc over to Inspector Gregson, and were summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. Oh, a perfect ending! Hey, I was just thinking, it's like, okay, once this bit's over, we need to find a stopping point because I gotta stop for the day. So this is a perfect timing. Look at that perfect little notch. Excellent. Well then, everyone, we shall resume on Friday, because it's about time for my brother to get home. He usually gets home early on, what day is today? Monday? Yeah. So, it is time to wrap up the stream. All right, let's find somebody to raid, shall we? Shall we? Okay, none of my usual people are streaming, much right now. I'm gonna see if I can't find somebody Arton to bother. To raid. Let me see. Also, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the chat. Who's streaming? Let's find somebody, shall we? Oh, I need to use the search bar, actually. Yes, a very chaotic ending. I need the art category, please. Let's find somebody drawing. Cha 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 God, it'd be perfect if I could find somebody drawing Ace Attorney fan art, but chances seem slim.
Let me see. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-dun-da-dun-da-da. Da-dun-da-da. Da-dun-da-da. Finding somebody to raid.
I feel like it's too quiet. It's too quiet. Can we find somebody drawing comics, maybe? Maybe. Lavender Town seems to be streaming. I'd rather raid someone kind of smaller. Because I know, isn't she kind of like a big YouTuber? I prefer to raid smaller folks who like would benefit more from having more people. Scream stream, yes. So it's like nothing against her. I just prefer to raid smaller folks who would benefit more from it. Let's find somebody drawing comics, perhaps. Dorsini is streaming right now. Is she the goth one that I rated a few weeks ago? I can't remember. We can do that. Oh, no, was she? No. She's different. Artist friend who likes D&D. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah. I was getting her nickname confused. Not goth, just an artist. Okay, we'll do that then. Skaboom. I thought I followed her. I guess not. Start raid. Hey, listen, I'm not against raiding people multiple times. I raid Bia, like, constantly. Because they're always online when I'm streaming. But not tonight, apparently. Okay, so, doing my usual closing. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Next one will be on Friday. We will be continuing from this point. I also have a stream on Wednesday where I will be working on something completely different. I'll be working on my webcomic. So if you're here and you are not already following, make sure you do that so you get stream notifications. I also post stream notifications on Twitter and on Discord. My Discord is mostly for my webcomic, but we do have a stream discussion channel in there, so you can check that out. Will we finish the game on Friday? Almost certainly not, but we will at the very least get closer. I imagine this is probably going to be a long case. It's the last one of the game. So, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. One last shill. I will be adding my Ace Attorney stickers to my store sometime this week. I meant to do it today, but I got distracted. So next time they should be up. Anyways, activating the raid now. Fare thee well, friends. I shall see you later. Goodbye!